Women are evil, rapists, and murderers. Doesn't sound right, does it? But I bet you if I flipped the script and said men are evil, murderous, rapists, it wouldn't come to much of a surprise. That is the wonderful woman effect. Still confused? Stick around and find out more. I'm not an expert on the topic, however, I've done some research, and I'm also human, and I've actually noticed these tendencies within myself. It is because of this effect that gender inequality is such at a gap. It's a huge difference. And society tends to reinforce these ideas as we all come from women, making it hard to look at them in any evil or negative manner. We tend to be groomed into this thinking without even knowing it. But first off, let's look at some background information as to how this effect came to be. The term was coined in 1994 by researchers Alice Eagley and Antonio Malatic in a 1994 paper where they were actually trying to prove prejudice against women, but instead they found that people associate positive images with women when it comes to judgment. From the moment we are born, whether male or female, we come from moms. From the very beginning, we are being taken care of this loving, nurturing, and just overall beautiful women. It is because of this that we see women in such a positive image. To see a woman in any other type of image, such as bad, evil, whatever, is to put your mom in that type of light. So people are really reluctant to doing that. That soft, gentle, and big hearted woman that you loved suddenly appears in a completely different form. Women are humans just like men, and that means they are capable of anything, if not more, than men, whether good or bad. The fake image developed from birth begins to affect everyone's perception of women and puts on even a blind veil of ignorance, to put it into terms. Stuff like this leads to toxic masculinity, since women are viewed as gentle creatures, kind of the gatherer type, which leaves the men to fit the role of the strong hunter type. The man must provide for his family, he can't have mental health issues, or he'll be perceived as weak. People follow these norms and without thinking about it. For starters, let's get into the mental health aspect. As explained earlier, because women are seen as gentle creatures, men kind of are seen to just deal with their problems. We begin to see these negative consequences in the toxic masculinity and the stigma around mental health issues in men. In a study from healthline.com, it says depression and suicide are ranked one of the top killers of men, but yet they are least likely to seek help. And also, according to the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention, men died by a suicide rate of 3.54% higher than that of women in 2017. But it's not only there where we could observe this effect on society. We could look at the institutions such as the prison system. The problem is that it is simply too easy to put a man in jail. Everyone thinks they could survive no problem. A woman, on the other hand, is viewed as gentle, might not be mentally tough, might not be physically tough to put behind bars. To put this into a better perspective, imagine if a husband offered to serve out a prison sentence for his wife. It would be viewed as heroic, brave, manly. However, if the wife were to do that for the husband, he'd be viewed as a coward and weak. But this isn't the only instance. I've observed this myself firsthand, unfortunately, with my friend. A couple of months ago, my friend, who I won't name his name to keep him anonymous, was in and out of jail because his ex-girlfriend decided to get revenge on him, and she filed various domestic abuse cases and even a restraining order. She achieved this by self-inflicting a bruise on her arm and then claiming he did it. And of course, the law, without a single doubt in their mind, arrested my friend and interrogated him on the matter. They didn't even so much as go into investigating whether that bruise was caused by him or not. She failed to appear to all the court cases, and yet the judges continued postponing, just to get him into jail, essentially, because it's simply too easy. In a society where the prison system is privatized and women are viewed as delicate, it's too easy to target the males. Of course, he was later acquitted of all accounts, as he didn't commit any of that heinous crimes, but it ended up costing him thousands of dollars in lawyer fees, time in jail he won't get back, and just overall suffering. However, it was found that he was innocent, but yet there was no repercussions for the woman. Why is that? Why is she still walking free? Why did she not have to pay those lawyer fees? That's very unfair. Why should men be treated in this manner if both genders are supposed to be equal? The natural occurrence of the women are wonderful effect happens from the time we're born, and then reinforced by society. This occurrence is very, very damaging to the gender equality movement. To have a true equality within a society, we must get rid of this bias around women and set them as equal. We must learn to identify that we are committing it and then avoid it. It's then and only then that this bias will be solved and both genders could truly be equal.